chosen one. There's an ancient spiritual law that states when light rises, darkness becomes absolutely unstable. At this very moment, your ex is having a complete breakdown over gossip about you. And here's the divine twist. It's all good news about your ascension. The conversation starts innocently. Someone mentions your thriving business, your peaceful energy, your new love who actually celebrates you. And suddenly this person becomes unhinged. What I'm about to reveal will expose the hidden spiritual warfare you've been navigating and why their instability is actually proof of your protection. Like a vampire exposed to sunlight, their true nature is about to be revealed in ways that will vindicate every intuition you had about their toxicity. What's fascinating the family members isn't just the intensity of this person's reaction. It's the precision of what sets off the most explosive responses. The gossip about your professional recognition doesn't just irritate them. It sends them into a blind fury that has everyone stepping back from the table. The news about your intuitive abilities awakening doesn't just concern them. It triggers something that looks like genuine panic. Your ex spent considerable energy convincing you that you were too sensitive for business success, too scattered for leadership opportunities, too naive for the world outside their protection. Now the gossip circulating completely contradicts every limiting belief your ex installed in your psyche. People are saying you're one of the most grounded entrepreneurs in your field. The word is spreading that you have natural leadership qualities that inspire others to exceed their own expectations. Reports are reaching this table about your remarkable ability to see through surface presentations to underlying truths. But what's driving this person to the absolute brink isn't just your individual success. It's the specific nature of how people describe your transformation. When someone mentions that you seem to glow from within now, that your presence brings peace to chaotic situations, that conversations with you leave people feeling inspired and hopeful, this individual's reaction becomes genuinely frightening to witness. The family is starting to understand that these aren't normal breakup emotions. When healthy relationships end, people might feel sad, disappointed, or even angry for a while. But what your ex is displaying goes far beyond normal grief into something that resembles obsession. The level of detailed tracking of your activities, the intensity of rage at your happiness, the inability to hear good news about you without experiencing what appears to be physical pain. This is the behavior of someone whose identity was built entirely around your diminishment. The energy at that table shifts dramatically as more specific details about your new life emerge. Someone shares how you commanded attention at a recent professional gathering, not through force, but through authentic presence. Another person mentions meeting your new partner, how this individual speaks about you with genuine pride, how comfortable your partner seems with your success, how different the energy feels around you both. Watch what happens next, because this is where your ex's carefully constructed facade begins its complete disintegration. The reaction isn't just emotional volatility. Something violent erupts from their core that has the entire family witnessing pure, unfiltered rage at another person's shabbiness. We're talking about fists connecting with surfaces, possibly even self-harm through wall punching. The people around that round table are observing something unprecedented. Someone becoming genuinely unhinged by good news about someone they claim to have loved. This person is maintaining detailed mental records about every piece of positive gossip circulating about your life. The reaction isn't just temporary upset followed by moving on. This individual is cataloging each success story, each compliment, each mention of your name in positive contexts. What's emerging is an obsession that resembles a predator studying prey, building what can only be described as an intelligence file about your current existence. The family members are beginning to notice this deeply unsettling pattern. When someone mentions that you've been mentoring others who've experienced similar struggles, this person doesn't just express anger. The interrogation begins. Who said that? When did this encounter occur? What exactly were you wearing? How did you appear? What was your energy like? The questions come rapid fire, desperate, almost frantic in their need to gather comprehensive intelligence about your current state of being. Your new relationship isn't just triggering jealousy, it's exposing this person for what they really represented in your life. A spiritual vampire who has been severed from their primary energy source. And now, as the family watches this meltdown unfold, patterns that were ignored for years are becoming impossible to dismiss. The way this individual always became uncomfortable when you achieved something meaningful. The systematic ways they found to diminish your accomplishments. The consistent need for you to be the problem so they could position themselves as the solution. The stakes are escalating exponentially because this person isn't just losing their psychological grip on you. Reality itself is becoming negotiable in their mind. The gossip about your thriving social life is particularly devastating because your ex invested enormous energy in isolating you from supportive relationships. Now reports are reaching this table about friends who actually celebrate your victories, colleagues who seek your guidance, a community that values your contributions. Every social connection you've cultivated since your liberation is evidence that the isolation tactics employed weren't about protection. They were about control. But what's most disturbing, the family, isn't just the plotting that's beginning. It's the calculated, strategic way this person discusses potential interference in your life. This isn't someone processing hurt feelings from a tanged relationship. This is someone planning what resembles a military operation, complete with intelligence gathering, target assessment, and tactical planning for maximum disruption. The family is starting to connect memories that suddenly make horrifying sense. Moments when this person would subtly discourage others from offering you opportunities. Instances when your achievements were mysteriously downplayed or redirected away from you. Times when this individual seemed to have inside information about your plans that they shouldn't have possessed. The pattern that's emerging isn't just unhealthy, it's predatory. But there's more emerging about this person's current circumstances that explains the desperation behind their rage. While your ex rages about your success, pieces of their hidden life are coming to light. The gambling debts they thought nobody knew about. Those shady business dealings crossing ethical lines. The double life maintained while presenting as the victim of your abandonment. The most chilling revelation emerges when someone innocently mentions how people describe you as seeming lighter now, how stress lines have disappeared from your appearance, how you carry yourself with confidence that wasn't present during your relationship. This observation doesn't just anger your ex, it triggers admissions that shock everyone at Theatable. Details start spilling about deliberate strategies employed to keep you anxious. Methods used to ensure you constantly doubt your own perceptions. Techniques specifically designed to make you question your sanity. The family is processing information that reveals systematic psychological manipulation, extending far beyond normal relationship difficulties. Your ex is inadvertently confessing to creating chaos right before your important events, undermining your confidence before significant opportunities, picking fights when you were trying to focus on personal growth. The gossip about your current stability isn't just positive news. It's evidence of spiritual crimes against your well-being that are now being accidentally admitted. Here's where earlier hints about spiritual vampirism prove literal rather than metaphorical. This person systematically siphoned your creative energy, your joy, your life force to fuel a deceptive lifestyle. Your light masked their darkness. Your success covered their failures. Your energy powered their illusions. But the most disturbing gossip reaching this person's consciousness isn't about your achievements. It's the reports of your intuitive abilities awakening since your liberation. People are saying you possess an uncanny ability to read situations before they fully develop, that you seem to know things before information becomes public, that you can sense people's true intentions almost immediately upon meeting them. This isn't just triggering anger, it's igniting genuine terror because this person realizes you now possess the very abilities that would have exposed their manipulation from the relationship's beginning. The conversation at that round table reaches its explosive climax when someone mentions the ultimate trigger. Your new partner isn't just treating you with respect, but is actively supporting your healing from the damage your ex inflicted. Your business isn't just successful, it's thriving specifically because you're finally free to channel your energy toward creation instead of constantly managing someone else's manufactured chaos. Your travels aren't just adventures. They represent concrete evidence that you've escaped the psychological prison this person constructed around your dreams. The specific gossip that sends your ex into complete psychological collapse isn't about the saying regarding your energy transformation. Someone at the table mentions hearing that you seem to emanate light, now that people feel peaceful simply being in your presence. That your existence makes others feel hopeful about their own potential for healing. This isn't just positive news. It represents an existential threat to your ex's entire understanding of reality. This is the moment when complete truth explodes into the open with volcanic force. Your ex starts revealing information in their rage that was never meant to be shared. Details emerge about how you were systematically trained to need them. Calculations are admitted regarding keeping you financially dependent. Deliberate sabotage of your previous opportunities is confessed. Lies told to isolate you from supportive people are revealed with shocking specificity. The family listens in growing horror as your ex exposes their own psychological manipulation tactics with disturbing pride. As if these strategic moves to keep you diminished were accomplishments worthy of recognition. The genuine panic at realizing their control system has failed completely is becoming obvious to everyone present. This isn't someone upset about your success. This is someone terrified because your freedom means their elaborate house of lies is collapsing in real time. What's most shocking to the family isn't just the admission of manipulation. It's the cold, calculated methodology with which these tactics are described. Your ex talks about monitoring your friendships and strategically sabotaging the healthy ones. Revelations emerge about timing their personal crisis to coincide with your opportunities, ensuring you'd always choose their manufactured needs over your authentic growth. Admissions surface about studying your vulnerabilities like a predator studies prey, learning precisely which emotional triggers would keep you compliant and dependent. The gossip that's driving your ex to complete psychological unraveling isn't random social chatter. It's systematic evidence that every single manipulation tactic employed has not only failed, but has backfired with devastating consequences. People are describing you as the most authentic person they know, which destroys the narrative about your supposed fakeness and manipulation. Word is spreading that you're incredibly reliable and trustworthy, obliterating the stories about your alleged flakiness and unreliability that your ex used to justify their controlling behavior. As their rage intensifies beyond anything the family has witnessed, something even deeper reveals itself, the spiritual dimension of what you've been confronting. Your ex begins talking about feeling cursed since your departure, about everything deteriorating in their life, about how they can't understand why the universe seems to be punishing them while showering you with blessings. But the gossip that's really driving your ex to the edge of sanity extends beyond your material success. It's the reports of your spiritual awakening that have triggered genuine panic. People are saying you seem to know things before they happen. Now mentions circulate about how you can read people's energy instantly, how you seem protected by invisible forces, how opportunities flow toward you like water finding its natural course. This isn't just creating jealousy, it's creating terror. What your ex doesn't comprehend, but what you're beginning to understand completely, is that they're experiencing the natural consequences of attempting to feed off someone else's light for too long. When a spiritual vampire loses access to their host, the withdrawal isn't just emotional, it's energetic starvation on levels most people can't fathom. Every success you achieve, every moment of peace you maintain, every healthy relationship you build becomes like sunlight to a creature that thrived in the shadows of your diminished self-worth. The family is witnessing something they don't fully understand, but can feel in their bones. Your ex has been carrying dark energy that was only sustainable with access to your light. Now that those cords have been severed, their own shadow is consuming them from the inside. The gossip circulating about your spiritual protection isn't just flattering conversation. People are witnessing actual evidence that negative energy directed toward you seems to return to its source with amplified intensity. Someone at the table mentions how people have noticed that anyone who tries to harm you or speak against you seems to experience immediate consequences in their own lives. Projects fall through, relationships crumble, health issues emerge. It's not that you're cursing anyone. It's that you're so aligned with your highest good that the universe itself has become your defender. This revelation sends this person into an even deeper spiral because they realize their plots for revenge will only accelerate their own destruction. As your ex's true nature becomes undeniable, watch what happens to their support system. The family members at that table start distancing themselves. Friends who made excuses for their behavior begin setting boundaries. The carefully constructed network of people who enabled their dysfunction starts falling apart because healthy people eventually recognize toxicity even when it's wrapped in victim narratives. The gossip about your success is spreading beyond the immediate family. And with each person who hears about your transformation, this person's reputation takes another hit. People are connecting your current happiness with memories of how this person used to speak about you, how they'd subtly undermine your confidence in social settings, how they'd redirect conversations away from your achievements. The pattern becomes undeniable when viewed through the lens of your current success. What's particularly devastating to their social standing is the specific nature of what people are saying about you now versus what they remember from before. During your relationship, this person would describe you as unstable, unreliable, overly emotional. Now, people are using words like grounded, wise, peaceful, and inspiring to describe your presence. The contrast is so stark that people are beginning to question everything this person told them about you. The network they thought would always be there begins to thin out. Not because people don't care, but because caring doesn't mean enabling. Those who genuinely love them start speaking truth instead of offering false comfort. Suggestions emerge about therapy, addiction treatment, spiritual guidance, real solutions instead of temporary band-aids. But someone caught in the grip of their own ego rarely wants solutions. What your ex wants is sympathy without change, support without growth, love without accountability. When their circle begins demanding better from them, instead of just accepting their excuses, they feel abandoned and betrayed, not understanding that this is actually love in its highest form. Meanwhile, your circle continues to expand with people who celebrate your growth, support your dreams, and match your energy. The universe has a way of replacing toxic connections with nourishing ones when we make space by removing what no longer serves us. While your ex spins narratives about what a terrible person you are, the universe is revealing your true nature to everyone paying attention. People see how you handle adversity with grace. Witnesses observe your commitment to healing rather than revenge. Others watch you build people up instead of tearing them down. The specific gossip that's circulating about your healing abilities is what's really driving this person to the brink of insanity. People aren't just saying you're doing well. They're saying you have a gift for helping others recognize their own worth, that you seem to see through surface-level presentations to the truth underneath, that your presence alone helps people feel safe enough to be authentic. This isn't accidental recovery from their abuse. This is transformation into something they never anticipated. Your new relationship becomes living proof of what's possible when someone chooses growth over stagnation, healing over hatred. The way your partner supports your dreams instead of sabotaging them, celebrates your success instead of resenting it, encourages your light instead of trying to dim it. This contrast is making this person's previous behavior even more obviously abusive. The family is hearing reports that you've become a safe person for others to confide in about their relationship struggles, that you have an uncanny ability to help people see patterns they've been blind to, that your guidance seems to accelerate people's healing processes. This isn't just recovery. This is the emergence of gifts that were always within you but were suppressed by the toxic environment you escaped. Someone mentions that people describe conversations with you as life-changing, that you seem to know exactly what questions to ask to help others gain clarity, that your insight cuts through confusion like a laser through fog. This gossip about your intuitive abilities is particularly disturbing to your ex, because they realize you now possess the very skills that would have protected you from their manipulation from the beginning. What's most threatening to this person is the gossip about your discernment abilities. People are saying you can spot manipulation tactics immediately, now that you seem to know when someone is lying before they finish their sentence. That you have an almost supernatural ability to sense people's true intentions. Every story about your awakened perception is evidence that their control tactics would never work on you again. As their breakdown reaches its peak, the ultimate truth emerges about why your happiness affects them as a partner when you left. They lost their cover story. As long as you were struggling, they could blame their problems on having to deal with your issues. As long as you were small, they could feel big. As long as you were wounded, they could play healer. But let's not sugarcoat it. The truth is still hidden. It's been twisted. It's been buried under censorship, algorithms, and fear. Yet your heart never stopped recognizing what's real. That's why you're still here. That's why you never tapped out, because you felt the simulation glitch beneath your feet. You know this world is rigged and you're done waiting for permission to rise. The obsidian inner order wasn't built for the curious. It was forged for the committed. This is for the full-time chosen. The ones who came to lead. The ones who see beyond the veil and act anyway. Inside, we hold weekly Zoom calls that cut through the noise. We share hidden teachings most were never meant to hear. We train in psychic warfare, strategy, and spiritual technologies they've kept locked away for centuries. This is the toolkit for the real ones, the ungovernable, the impossible to erase. It's time to remember who you are. The link is in the description. Your real life begins inside. The gossip that's absolutely destroying them isn't just about your material success or even your spiritual awakening. It's about what people are saying regarding your authenticity. The word spreading through your circles is that you're the most genuine person they know. That what you see is what you get. That there's no hidden agenda or manipulation in your interactions. This is devastating to your ex, because authenticity was the one quality they worked hardest to suppress in you during your relationship. They convinced you that being genuine was naive, that showing your true self was dangerous, that you needed their guidance to navigate social situations safely. Now people are saying your authenticity is your superpower, that your willingness to be vulnerable in healthy ways creates deeper connections, that your transparency makes others feel safe to be real around you. Every compliment about your genuine nature is evidence that their protective control was actually imprisonment. Your healing didn't just take away their victim. It took away their entire identity as your savior. Your success didn't just prove them wrong about your potential. It exposed them as the limiting factor that was holding you back all along. Your peace didn't just show that you could thrive without them. It revealed that you were always meant to thrive and they were the obstacle preventing it. The gossip about your transformation has developed a life of its own, spreading far beyond the original family conversation into networks your ex never anticipated. What started as casual updates about your life has become a phenomenon, reaching people you haven't spoken to in years. Former colleagues are hearing about your success and remembering how your ex used to appear at your workplace events, subtly undermining your contributions or redirecting credit for your ideas toward themselves. Old friends are connecting current reports of your confidence with memories of how you used to second-guess yourself constantly during your relationship. This network effect is systematically destroying your ex's reputation, because people are beginning to share their own memories and observations that now make perfect sense. Someone remembers how you used to light up talking about your dreams and how that spark seemed to dim whenever your ex entered conversations. Another person recalls noticing how you would change subjects away from your achievements whenever your ex was around, as if you'd been systematically trained to minimize your own importance to make them feel bigger. But the most powerful gossip spreading about you isn't just about your individual recovery. It's about your awakened ability to spot and help others escape similar patterns of spiritual vampirism. People are saying you have an almost supernatural ability to recognize when someone is being manipulated, that you can see through love bombing and gaslighting tactics with laser precision, that your presence seems to activate other people's intuition about their own relationships. Word is spreading that you've become a safe harbor for people who are questioning their own sanity in toxic relationships. People are saying you have a gift for reflecting their true worth back to them when they've forgotten it, that you can help someone recognize their own light even when it's been systematically dimmed by spiritual vampires. This gossip about your healing abilities is reaching your ex through multiple channels, and each report feels like another confirmation that you've not only escaped their control, but have become someone who helps others do the same. What's particularly infuriating to them is hearing that you never speak badly about them, that when people ask about your past relationship, you simply redirect the conversation toward healing and growth. Your refusal to engage in their drama or feed their need for negative attention is being interpreted as wisdom and maturity, while their ongoing obsession with your life is being seen as exactly what it is: unhealthy fixation on someone who's moved on. Your ex's reaction to each new piece of gossip is becoming more unhinged, and the family is starting to document the pattern. When they hear about your professional recognition, this person rants about how you probably manipulated your way to success. When they learn about your healthy relationship, they spin elaborate theories about how your partner must be using you. When they discover your spiritual growth, they claim you've been brainwashed by some cult or guru. Every accusation made against you sounds like a description of their own behavior. The projection is becoming so obvious that it's almost cartoonish. Accusations of manipulation while revealing their own manipulative tactics. Claims that you're using people while admitting to their own parasitic patterns. Suggestions that you're mentally unstable while displaying increasingly erratic behavior themselves. The mirror effect is becoming so pronounced that family members are starting to interrupt this person's rants with direct questions. Wait, didn't you do that exact thing to them? Aren't you describing your own behavior right now? Don't you think it's strange that you're the only one who sees them this way? The cognitive dissonance is forcing them to become more defensive, which only makes their true nature more apparent. What's most revealing is how they respond when family members mention positive gossip about your character. Reports about your kindness are met with stories about your alleged cruelty. News about your generosity triggers tales about your supposed selfishness. Updates about your peace are countered with claims about your past drama. The pattern is so consistent that even the most supportive family members are beginning to question the credibility of these counter-narratives. As your ex's meltdown reaches its final crescendo, something absolutely beautiful becomes clear. Their breakdown represents your breakthrough completing itself in the most perfect way imaginable. Every mask that falls from their face reveals another layer of freedom in your life. Every bridge they burn behind them is a road you no longer need to guard. Every person who finally sees their true nature becomes a witness to your wisdom in trusting your intuition and choosing your own well-being over their comfort. The round table that began this story as a scene of their rage has transformed into a courtroom where their own words are providing testimony to your innocence and their guilt. The family members who started the conversation, sharing innocent gossip about your success, are ending it with complete clarity about who was really the problem in your relationship. People aren't just talking about your individual transformation anymore. The conversations have evolved to include how your healing has created ripple effects touching entire communities. Word is spreading that you've become a catalyst for other people's awakenings, that your story is inspiring others to examine their own relationships and choose freedom over familiarity with dysfunction. The most devastating blow to your ex's ego isn't your personal success. It's the reports of your impact on others' lives that keep reaching this table. People are saying that knowing you has made them better people, that your example has given them courage to pursue their own dreams, that your presence in their lives has been genuinely transformational. Every story about your positive influence on others is evidence that the narrative your ex tried to create about your negative impact was pure projection of their own toxicity. You don't need to defend yourself against their lies because your life has become living testimony to the truth. You don't need to prove your worth to people who were never qualified to judge it. You don't need to engage with their chaos because your peace has become more powerful than their storms could ever be. The spiritual protection surrounding you isn't just defensive. It's actively transforming their negative energy into fuel for your continued rise. Every curse they attempt to send your way becomes a blessing redirected to your path. Every effort to harm you becomes strength added to your journey. Every moment they spend trying to bring you down is energy the universe recycles directly into your success. While your ex sits at tables complaining about your success, you're creating more success for them to complain about. While they waste energy trying to convince people you're the problem, you're solving problems and creating solutions that make the world better. While they remain stuck in the past trying to bright it makes their darkness more obvious. By contrast, the individual who sat down at that table thinking they could poison others against you has instead poisoned the well of their own credibility beyond repair. Every word they spoke in rage became evidence of your wisdom in leaving. Every revelation of their manipulation tactics became proof of your strength in surviving. Every admission of their controlling behavior became testimony to your courage in choosing freedom over familiarity. The round conversations have now spread to multiple tables, multiple families, multiple social circles, and the gossip has evolved into something your ex never anticipated. People aren't just talking about your success anymore. They're discussing the lessons your journey teaches about recognizing and escaping spiritual vampirism. Your story has become a case study in transformation that's helping others identify similar patterns in their own lives and choose differently. The gossip network has transformed into a healing network, with your transformation serving as a beacon of hope for people who thought escape from toxic patterns was impossible. The word spreading about your awakening isn't just personal news. It's become a form of spiritual education that's raising consciousness in your entire community about what healthy relationships look like versus toxic ones. The round table that witnessed their meltdown has become the launching pad for your legacy. The family members who saw their mask slip completely are now spreading different gossip entirely. Stories about your resilience, your growth, your ability to rise from ashes and soar higher than anyone thought possible. They're sharing observations about how your presence changes the energy of rooms, how your existence lifts others up, how your story gives people permission to choose healing over hiding. The ultimate irony is that your ex's attempt to destroy your reputation through their public breakdown has actually elevated it to legendary status among people who matter. Their unhinged reaction to your happiness has become the most powerful endorsement of your character anyone could imagine. People are thinking if someone becomes this unstable over another person's success and peace, that person must be doing something extraordinarily right. Chosen one, the gossip about you isn't just good news. It's great news getting greater every single day. While your ex remains absolutely unstable over what people are saying about your success, you're absolutely unstoppable in creating more success for people to discuss with admiration and respect. Your victory isn't just personal, it's prophetic, showing others what becomes possible when someone chooses their own healing over someone else's comfort with their limitations. Your freedom isn't just individual, it's inspirational. giving others permission to examine their own relationships and demand the treatment they deserve. Your rise isn't just your own journey. It's a roadmap for other chosen ones who are ready to stop settling for scraps and start claiming their inheritance as powerful, protected, divinely guided souls who were meant to shine. The table has turned completely. The masks have fallen permanently, and the truth has set you free in ways that keep expanding. Let your ex talk. Let them rage. Let them plot their pathetic attempts at revenge. Your peace is your power. Your success is your statement, and your continued ascension is the only response their chaos deserves. You have not just survived their spiritual vampirism, you have transformed it into spiritual victory that serves as inspiration for others facing similar challenges. The gossip that began as their torment has become the soundtrack of your triumph that plays louder every day in Chosen One. This is just the beginning of what people will be saying about you as you continue rising into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. The gossip continues flowing, but now it serves a higher purpose, spreading the good news of what happens when a chosen one remembers who they really are and chooses to live in that truth, regardless of who becomes uncomfortable with their light. Your story has become legend. Your transformation has become inspiration. And your continued success has become proof that chosen ones are truly unstoppable when they choose themselves over settling for less than they deserve.